Okay, so the first card I have is a Seven of Swords. This is a Five of Swords reversed. I have a Four of Cups, and this has been showing up so far in Pisces and Aries as well. I have the Emperor. I have a Nine of Wands. This is a Two of Wands. Very interesting here. Four of Cups. Ace of Swords. Queen of Cups. Interesting. No pentacles for you, but quite a bit of cups and swords here. In fact, you have 3 cups and 3 swords, air and water. And air and water are probably the most fluid elements versus, fire is very intense as well because you do have 2 wands here. But when I look at this air and water, air represents our thinking, our mental process, the way we judge, the way we think. It addresses our anxiety, our psychology, anything psychological or mental going on with us. And cups are emotions and our feelings. And so, very emotional month and mental month. You might feel drained and stressed out with this relationship here. And then when we have the wands and the fire, we get that intensity. Sometimes we might get that, that struggle, because fire is all about being motivated and going for what you want. And it's very intense, more than air and water, because it's fire. Okay. It's a much more intense energy. And fire is also about change as well. So, very intense, and there are no pentacles here. There's no grounding here. And I'm not sure why your element isn't showing up here, Taurus. The only thing from my first impression is that I get a feeling that you're overwhelmed, not just your emotions. I think maybe emotions and feelings and anxiety is overpowering your grounded and your groundedness and your stability here. And I also get the feeling that some of you Taurus peeps are giving so much. You've been grounded and stable, and you're the foundation for the relationship, that sometimes things tend to, you lose balance a little bit. You get inside your head. And it seems to me like you only have one major arcana, and that's the Emperor. This Emperor, this authority, this person who rules, I get a sense that this is a force from the outside. I don't think this is anything you're controlling. Sometimes when I see the Emperor in a relationship reading, I get a sense of limitations, that someone is saying, this is the way it is, do as I say, you can't move in any direction but one direction. So sometimes the Emperor, it's a good energy because the Emperor rules and brings things under control and brings order. But at the same time, that order and control can also represent a situation that's not changing, that needs to be more flexible. It seems like a situation can be so under control that it limits you. Okay. And the Emperor can also represent a leader, such as a father or a husband, a very dominant authority. Okay. And so I get the feeling that there's someone who's overpowering you as far as your restrictions, what you can do in the relationship, that you're the one who has to give in. So that brings me to all these swords and cups, these feelings. And I almost get the feeling that the cups are a reaction from the swords. So when you look at your past influences here, we have a 7 of swords, which is about the card of secrets. Sometimes it's dishonesty, sometimes it's lying. And then the 5 of swords, which is the card of a struggle, winning or losing a struggle. Sometimes it means a hurt ego. And so when this is in reverse, we have some grudges going on. We've got bruised egos. And then we get the 4 of cups, which is someone who is being emotionally selfish, who's making it all about them. So I get the feeling, this is why I get the feeling, Taurus, that you've been overwhelmed by your partners or a person of interest here, and they're stifling you. This person, this emperor energy is ruling. So when we get here to the wands, we have this defensiveness here. Things that happened in the past, you see her holding her wand. She's prepared to defend herself. These wands are behind her. She's learned from what's happened in the past, and she doesn't want it to happen again. And so there's some past issues here that I think you're trying to defend yourself from. And this 9 of wands is sort of followed by a 2 of wands, and they're kind of facing each other. This 2 of wands, and I kind of feel this emperor has a wand as well. And so this 2 of wands is usually the card of success. It's a very positive card, actually. You have 2 forces. 2 is the number of harmony or balance or duality. You're getting the energy between 2 of anything, 2 emotions. The 2 of cups is about coming together emotionally, finding your soulmate. 2 of pentacles means finding balance between 2 different forces, trying to juggle everything in your everyday life and trying to keep it all in balance. So, and then the 2 of swords is about having to make a decision that, you're caught in the middle, or 2 people cannot make a decision together. So the number 2 is sort of telling me about what's going on in a relationship, that you 2 are joined together. And maybe you 2 are trying to work it out in the relationship. This is about not reaching success yet, but that's the intent. You want these 2 forces to work together. You want to have that change. And remember, fire changes everything. Anything it touches, it changes. Okay? And so, for some of you, the story might be that you gave it one more shot. You tried to, you're trying this relationship again. And from the past readings I've given for you, Taurus, I think in one reading early on in the summer, I kind of gave a reading where some of you had to let go and move in a new direction and let go of the things that were not working for you. So for some of you, I get a feeling that someone has sort of pulled you back in. Okay. So when we get here, now we have regrets here with that 5 of cups. That maybe you went ahead and went back to someone for some of you, and now you're kind of regretting it. Emotionally you feel, why did I allow this to happen? Why did I let this person do this to me again? Keep in mind that's your future. And then this Ace of Swords, which is the sword of clarity. And I think it's interesting that we have this Queen of Cups here. So we have 2 cups that are kind of facing the Ace of Swords, where this emotion is causing self-reflection and trying to understand what's going on in this relationship. Why are we so unhappy? The Queen of Cups uses her intuition. She gets in touch with her emotions. And I think, Taurus, believe it or not, water nourishes the earth. And sometimes you need to attach yourselves to that element of water and get your nourishing and emotionally nourish yourself and get in touch with your emotions and how you really feel, because Ace of Swords is the card of truth. And so in the future, Taurus, what I'm seeing is you still not feeling happy or satisfied with the way a relationship is working out. And they're soul searching. And I believe this also showed up for Aries as well. And then we get to this energy of the Queen of Cups, to where we're trying to get in touch with how we feel. And we're trying to get our happiness back. What are we going to do? The Queen of Cups is looking to the Ace of Swords to get her emotions in check, but also to get clarity about what's really going on with this person. Okay? And so let me pull an outcome card. And the outcome card, this is shadow side. This is so crazy. Aries, maybe some of you are doing cross readings and they're Taurus and Aries people who are connected. If you're one of those people, this might freak you out. This also showed up as the outcome card for Aries. And so the shadow side is about a negative influence that's overcoming, that's taking over. And so some of the things that I kind of got that bad vibe about with the Emperor, it seems like the force is coming to the dark side here. And this is about, but the positive aspect is overcoming that negative influence, facing those demons, whether it's in a relationship or the actions of another person. Because once again, in the past, I kind of see some dishonesty and bruised egos and grudges and a lot of emotional withdrawals here and pulling back emotionally that are still undercurrents in the relationship. And yes, with all the power of the Emperor and the element of the wands pushing you forward in the relationship and trying to make it work, it seems like there's still cracks in the relationship that might start to come apart again. And just using an analogy, you might have used some glue to put things back together, right? And then the glue is coming, the glue is falling apart. Things are coming apart again. That's how I'm seeing this. And so this defensiveness, this things that are not said that need to be said, I think that there's going to be sort of like an emotional moment for you where you're like, I need to understand why I'm not happy in this relationship. It's not working. Why did I go back? Why am I still holding on? All of those questions I think are going to come to the forefront for some of you. And there's going to be a little bit of a struggle here, especially for those of you who have those partners that are kind of controlling here with the energy of the Emperor. Okay, so that was your reading, Taurus. And I also want you to know that I've gotten requests. I have people who would like 1 hour readings. So I'm making a service available. I used to give 1 hour readings, but I had to cut back to make time for other readings. But I am going to be offering a grand Romany tarot spread, a phone reading for 60 minutes. It's a wonderful spread. It's probably the most comprehensive tarot reading that you can get. And I'm going to be offering it for a limited amount of hours during the weeknights and during the weekends. But I posted a video about it, so you might want to check the video out. And, like I said, my time is limited for the time being as far as appointments. But you might want to check it out. It's one of those readings where you get it once a month. And all your questions are answered. It goes into details about all aspects of your life. It's a very thorough reading. So check it out and consider making an appointment. So I hope you have enjoyed your summer as we now turn towards the winter. Persephone, the goddess Persephone, is now going to have to return to hell. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but being Wiccan, that's the story. Whenever we start heading towards winter and the end of the year, Those are the things that I think about as darkness starts to take over. So, just be aware that there's going to be shifts for all of us in the next few months. But take care. I appreciate everyone's support, and I'll see you on YouTube. And I hope to talk to you soon. I wish you love and light.